Hiya crafters, Amy here with amyswares, and today I'm going to encourage you to stencil those scraps. Now this is Joined Roses. This is a brand new stencil from the March release, and I have two scraps from my folders of different kind of color-coded paper scraps. So I was excited to use some of those, and here is what I made today. I actually used two brand new stencils from the March release, so I'll show you the other one in a moment here. But to start, I did die cut this first kind of bright orange in your face panel, and I'm going to use it with the Joined Roses. Now I'm trying to look for a color that kind of matches this kind of rusty orange color. So I'm going to flip through the color wheel or my swatches of Catherine Pooler inks to figure out which one is going to be a pretty close match to this colored cardstock. Now, I don't know where this colored cardstock is from. It's not any particular brand. Just use what you have in your stash. I'm sure you have scraps. I actually have little color-coded folders for color families. So I have them kind of sectioned off that way, and I find it much more likely for me to grab something if I kind of have them situated by color family and I kind of have an idea in mind. So I picked this color, and I'm going to do some very simple ink blending through this Joined Roses stencil, and I think this is just so cool looking. I love how it turned out. Now I'm going to do this ink blending, and then I realize I've got to kind of make adjustments as I go to kind of get the look that I wanted. So I really like this, but then when I put it up on the stenciled background, it just didn't seem right. I knew I needed to tie that background panel in to the colors that I used on the front. So Zigzag Squares is another new stencil. These are so cool. I feel like these are so great for just a simple subtle background. You could do like a gray for a texture, or you could do a doubled up stencil, go through a stencil with bigger openings. But this was a way for me to tie that same color that's on the front panel with the back panel, and that's what did the trick. That's what gave it the uniformity. Now I did want it to pop off that background even more, so I die cut a panel of white, and I was going to do it like a drop shadow, but then I realized I wanted it to be an actual border. So the way that I modified this was I took the next down in size in that nested die set, and then I cut this rose panel down just slightly, so that way the white border of the bigger panel would go all the way around it, which was kind of what I was looking for. I just didn't realize it. So I kind of just had to trial and error and figure out. And I have this cool extra border that I did set aside for a future card. I thought about putting it on the inside, but I decided against it. So now I'm going to flip through my sentiment binder here and figure out how I want to finish the card. As you saw in the photo, this is the one I went with. That's a Photoplay die cut. Sadly, that one is no longer available, but shop your stash. I'm sure you have something that will work. I just like this because it was so long and skinny, and I felt like it worked so great with that shape that I die cut. Now this With Love was tempting. That also would have looked really good. I felt like it was a good width. That kind of went along with the border, but as you saw, ultimately I did go with the Celebrate. So I have some tweezers here. I'm just holding this, and I'm putting some Barely Arts liquid glue. I am going to pounce that off on that little scratch pad of paper, because y'all know I don't like the oozage. I still had oozage, even doing that extra step. Drives me bonkers, but what can you do? I'm going to place this down in the center and then just put kind of a heavy acrylic block on top of it and just give it a minute to cure. And I'm using my little pokey tool from my friend Judy to get rid of some of that blasted oozage that I'm not a fan of, but it was okay. Anyway, I have some 1-inch foam tape here. This is 2mm thick. It's from scrapbook.com. I'm going to put that on the back liberally just to kind of give it support if it gets sent in the mail. And then I'm going to pop that up on the other panel, which, as you can see, I did put on an actual card base with a little white border. So it was probably cut down to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Now I'm going to pick my bling. This is also from Colorful Light Designs. If you shop for anything at a Colorful Life Designs, be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10. You can save 10% on your complete order, and that will apply to everything in the shop. Stencils, stamps, blingage, all of it. The only thing it doesn't apply for is the Master Creator Bundle. If you want all the stencils from a month's release, you can get it at a massive discount of 20%. So that's why you can't use my coupon for those. But I did end up going with that white blingage. I felt like it tied in with the white of the sentiment in the border, and that's going to finish the card. So be sure to check out the rest of the awesome March release. There's so many cool stencils. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to join us in our fan group. I'll link all those details below, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.